Something out there was bigger, faster, and hungrier than you. And your ancestors had to outsmart it every single day just to see tomorrow. You've probably pictured it already. A handful of early Americans, stone spears raised, circling a mammoth twice their height. It's one of the most famous images in human history. Here's the problem. It's never actually been proven. Right now, archaeologists are genuinely split on whether that scene ever happened the way the textbooks drew it. And the reason is stranger than the myth itself. Picture the world your ancestors lived in. Woolly mammoths, giant bison, horses that would later vanish from the continent completely. Every one of those animals was a meal. Every one of them could kill you without much effort. No fences, no weapons beyond stone, no way to call for help. Now, the evidence. Across North America, researchers have found around 15 sites where a specific stone tool, called a Clovis point, was lying near mammoth bones. For decades, that felt like proof enough. Spear tip, animal bones, case closed. But here's where it gets strange. Not one of those Clovis points has ever been found actually lodged inside a mammoth bone. Compare that to parts of Eurasia, where archaeologists have pulled ancient spear tips directly out of mammoth remains. That's unmistakable proof of a kill. In North America, that kind of evidence simply doesn't exist. A tool lying near a bone is not the same as a tool that killed what the bone belonged to. Dr. Metin, an archaeologist at Kent State University, published a study in 2026 built around exactly that gap. His argument? A stone point beside a skeleton could just as easily mean something else. Scavenging. Picture it differently. Not a hunting party bringing down a giant. A group finding one already dead, from age or disease or another predator, and cutting into a carcass too valuable to pass up. Free meat without the risk of the hunt. But hold that thought, because the other side pushes back hard. Dr. David Kilby at Texas State University led a separate study defending the opposite view, alongside teams from Wyoming, New Mexico, and Arizona. They pointed to breakage patterns on the stone itself, the kind you'd expect from a weapon-striking bone at speed. Researchers have even thrust reconstructed Clovis points into elephant carcasses, the closest living stand-in for a mammoth, just to test the damage. The points could deliver a lethal wound, but against the thickest hide, they didn't always go deep enough. Some researchers have floated something stranger still. Poison. Certain hunter-gatherer groups still coat their spear points today for exactly this kind of prey. Unproven, just another hypothesis in the pile. Two serious research teams, same evidence, opposite conclusions. That's not a settled fact. That's a live argument about people who lived long before writing existed, and this question is bigger than one hunt. Mammoths and dozens of other giants went extinct not long after humans showed up in North America. For years, the story was simple. We hunted them into oblivion, but the honest answer is this. There's still no direct proof linking early Americans to that extinction. Climate was shifting fast. Habitats were collapsing. Humans may have played a small role, a large one, or barely any role at all. Here's the twist nobody mentions. In 2024, researchers studied a Clovis-era infant from Montana, known as the Anzick child, and ran an isotope test on his remains. His mother's diet placed her at the very top of the food chain, on par with an extinct hypercarnivorous cat. That would mean enormous amounts of mammoth meat. Except the human body can't safely process that much protein. It doesn't add up biologically, so researchers proposed something unsettling. Maybe it wasn't meat at all. Maybe it was maggots, harvested from a rotting carcass, which carry sky-high nitrogen levels of their own. Evidence that once looked like elite hunting might actually be evidence of scavenging. And there's more. Researchers at the University of South Carolina tested over 100 Clovis-era tools for traces of ancient blood. They found residue from mammoths and mastodons, also horses, also bison, not proof of constant hunting, proof of a messier relationship. Sometimes killing, sometimes scavenging, depending on what the moment offered. A live mammoth was too dangerous to provoke lightly. A dead one was a windfall too good to walk past. So the honest current answer is this. It probably wasn't only hunting. It probably wasn't only scavenging either. It was whatever kept people alive that week, with whatever animal happened to be within reach. The caveman spearing a mammoth was never proven fact. It was shorthand, simple enough to fit on a textbook page. The real story is messier and far more human. Your ancestors were making hard calls about risk and reward with imperfect information, the same way you do now. Every time a new study re-examines these same stones, the picture shifts a little. Hunting becomes scavenging. Scavenging becomes both. That's not a flaw in the science. That's what honest science actually looks like. Your ancestors didn't win by being the strongest. They won by figuring it out, one hard decision at a time. So be honest. Did you always picture ancient hunters bringing down mammoths with spears alone? Drop your answer in the comments.